It's the 30th of December 2025. I am depressed. I feel I am attempting to sell things on Facebook Marketplace, which I thought I'd 3 months ago I thought I'd be able to just get rid of all this stuff within 24 hours. Facebook Marketplace is the worst fucking place to try to sell anything. Being treated like a leper. My goodness, even I'm putting things down to ridiculous prices. Bargain of the fucking century. No. They're just putting things on there and stuff, and people are miserable on there. 2 weeks ago I was like, that's it, it's all gotta go. It's still lingering. There's a pile of VHS here. So this year, I think I sometimes paint things as quite rosy on here, and that I'm more happy and everything. It's when I visit this channel, like I did the other night, I popped in just to be on here. I used to do that a lot. I used to boost my self-esteem. Well, I used to do that a lot. And I used to do it a lot. I came in here the other night and I look at I just look at the thumbnails of my videos and think, yeah, really important. That was a really important one. That was a really good one. That was so informative. That was done well. And it's like 0 likes or 0 views, 1 view. And coming up to my 6th year on YouTube now, and I think, well, there should be 100,000 views per video. Huge discussion started. In fact, for every view I get, YouTube should be paying me $100. I feel deflated by the whole thing. I make the kind of videos that I want to watch, which are far and few between on YouTube. There's not a lot of people doing quality videos. It's all now AI orientated, but all other fancy setups. Some of the videos that I look at a thumbnail and think, you shouldn't be on YouTube. What are you doing? There's a guy called Howdy Mikowski, and I tune into him. I like tuning into him. He has very interesting and quality things to say. Geez, it's far and few between on YouTube. Actually, there's a guy called Dapper Dev. He's informative. He's interesting. He's making some interesting videos. They're very informative. He's doing some good stuff. Far and few between on here. I feel like I should have 100,000 subscribers, 100,000 views per video. Huge discussion started. And living in a mansion, I feel like because where we are at the moment, it's a 2-bedroom unit in Sydney's inner west. Embarrassed to say we're still stuck here. Trying to clear the garage out. No one wants to fucking buy anything off Facebook Marketplace. Fucking tight ass fucking misers. That's the embarrassing part. Still fucking here. Getting out of here February. We're going to get out of here in November, but the stress of the Christmas rush and silly season, we just decided to not do that. I was semi-ready to pack up and go. Actually, I wasn't. It's the garage. It's all about the garage. My section's almost clear. I've got VHS to get rid of. I initially decided to keep some of it. All of it's going. I've kept all the goodies of the VHS. I've kept. Getting rid of the rest. And horrible neighbours. Got a family at the back here. They're the typical mainstream 2.1 kids, white picket fence. They've literally got a white picket fence on the veranda, and they've literally got the white picket fence. And they've got, of a morning when I'm asleep, I probably, if I get to bed at 2 a.m. because I've been watching a movie or I've been on YouTube, it'll be 6:30. I'll be in a dream, and also I'm hearing screaming kids in my dream, screaming kids, and it's like, what? Oh, they're kids. They got like a 4-year-old, a 6-year-old, and I think they got like a 16-year-old. And all morning, at 6:30, the kid was yelling, screaming for an hour today. From 6:30 onwards, running around the backyard screaming, and the parents are, hoo, and the father comes out with his big foghorn voice, and there's quite a few mornings where the father will come out and act like an orangutan or an ape and go, and the kids will scream and he'll run it back. This is at 6:30 a.m. Run around the backyard screaming and carrying on. And I've had fucking enough of it. Had enough of it. Jeez. And just a lot. A few times I've slammed that, the sliding door. I slam it shut. Doesn't even look up. Doesn't even look up. I'll do it while he's out there. I'll slam it. Doesn't even look up. He's oblivious to his own moron, loud, obnoxious, unaware nature. He is just, and the white. I think he's Lebanese or Greek. He's about 35. Proudly carrying on the family name, having kids. They're going to be brats, already brats, and the white is, we've got the white picket fence. We work 5 days a week. We make X amount of money per year. White picket fence, 2.1 kids. And that they're in that and every morning at the moment it's I've actually decided not to speak about this on here because it's just embarrassed to still be here. The unit complex next door, they're horrible people, terrible people. It's the garage. As soon as the garage is cleared, and I'm just going to be brutal with it, as soon as the garage is cleared, we can go. And my section of the garage, my partner's section of the garage is mostly organised. It's my section. Everything has to just go now. I'm keeping the basic things which I would like. Everything else has to go. People on freaking Facebook Marketplace are just, what is their problem? Like, I've reduced the price by 90%. 200 clicks on things. Or the people that have messaged me, I say, alright, come and get it. They're like, where are you? I tell them where I am. They're like, and some are like, oh, you're too, or they'll tell them, I'll say, are you far away? And they'll tell me where they are. I'm like, you're freaking miles away from here. And the people that have turned up to get something, I give it to them and they start running because I've given them a 98% discount, bargain of the decade. One guy, he came to get something the other week. So I them a subwoofer, which I've never used for the Yamaha system, $5. He came along, I looked up online, it's probably worth about 50. I don't know how much they're worth, 40, 50. Anyway, he gives me I give him the subwoofer in the garage. He gives me the $5 and he just starts running. I was going to say, I says, oh, thanks very much. He started, I'm like, fuck. And because I was quite sick and tired of looking at things in the garage, the best feeling has been when I put a few things in the bin because I didn't want anyone else to have it. So I put a few things in the bin and it felt really good. It felt really good to get no money for certain things, no money. Just, there was a certain thing, I'd had it for more than a decade, never should have bought it actually, never should have bought it, more than a decade I had it. It was just, I decided I didn't want anybody else having it. And I just put it in a bag, I put it in the bin. It felt really good to do that. When things are just thrown out, it felt really good to do that. Sometimes it feels good just to not get any money for anything. And the things I have wanted a couple of bucks for, people will turn up and they give you the money and they just start running. It's like, as if I'm going to say, wait, I want $20 for that instead. And they're like, no. Yeah, so my channel is fantastic and marvellous, but sometimes I'm not made to feel that way. Sometimes I've started 5 years ago, and I think within 2 years I should have had 100,000 subscribers. Because at one point I was like, so how many subscribers would I want to be like, yeah, I've made it on here, like, yeah, I have made it. That's the thing, I have made it, but how many subscribers would I be? I'd be like, well, I'm going to check the record thing now. It would be I was like, well, and if I got to 5,000 subscribers, because you can fit 5,000 people in 1 pavilion, like, yes, that's 5,000 people who like my channel. Realistically, I should be in a mansion right now. $1 million. I am a $1 million YouTuber. I'm worth my weight in gold. I've covered all sorts of subjects, all sorts of very important topics, quality, informative, and entertaining. I've done it. As I said previously, I'm now on Night Voice. I put videos up on Night Voice now. I find it a little bit depressing to be on Midnight Charlie. I'm on Night Voice now. When I come into this channel, I feel a sense of achievement, and then I get a sense of depression. end of year pressure, goals that have remained unachieved, goals that have remained unachieved, which means I was going to get a goal in December, but there's so many elements and factors that are squashing in, mainly the fucking garage, getting out of here. There's a few factors that are squashing in, and I have the first part of my big goals I haven't achieved. This is a goal from years ago. I mean, I'm established now. I'm an established YouTuber, and looking back at some of the videos I made, some of them made me cringe. It was part of my journey. But I am an established YouTuber and haven't been rewarded for it. Next year is the big goals, the ones that I will feel really good about. They're coming into action next year. I wanted them to be in action this year. What did I achieve this year? What did I experience this year? Terrible neighbours. That fucking unit complex over there. Narcissistic, horrible people. What did I achieve this year? What else did I experience this year? Well, we went to America. We went back to America from like a kids in a candy store. Went to Los Angeles, which was surreal. Figuring my way out over there. The culture is very different. The culture is very different. A little bit difficult to describe. It's elegant, rough, raw, sparkly, survival, competitive, unique. Walked the streets of Hollywood. I walked the streets of Hollywood and West Hollywood and Bel Air and Beverly Hills in May this year. I did that. We were intended for a 2-day stopover in Los Angeles. So I spent 2 days in Hollywood, and then we spent 2 days in Hollywood. That ended up being 3 days in Hollywood, then 4 days in Hollywood, because we were just walking around again. I was retracing my steps. My partner, she was some of the time with me, some of the time resting, some of the time with... We intended to get a cheap domestic flight to New York. We were going to spend 3 weeks in New York. Those cheap domestic flights ended up being very expensive, and we decided not to do that. And then we were like, do we go to San Francisco or do we go to Mexico City? I'd never been to Mexico City. We went to Mexico City and had a fairly drab, terrible, not terrible, didn't connect at all. Didn't connect at all. Excellent tacos. Our Airbnb host we didn't get along with. She wasn't there half the time. It was all survival mode. Neither of us enjoyed it. And then got a... because we went from Los Angeles to Vegas. We spent like 4 days in Vegas. Loved. I love Vegas. Michelle loves Vegas. And then we got a... Then we flew from Vegas to Mexico City. The thing was, now on the way back, we were going to fly from Mexico City back to LAX, or just we looked up the prices, and the prices to fly from LA, Mexico City to LAX, or fly from Mexico City to Vegas were very similar price. So we flew back to Vegas. I tell you, when we touched down in Vegas, I was like, oh, back in civilization. Oh, yes, back. I was like, got through customs at Vegas, who were casual. They were very casual. In fact, I was waiting in line. I must have went off to La La Land, and all of a sudden Michelle's at the counter, and I went over and joined her, and the customs officer looked at the passport, looked at the passport, and he said to Michelle, just passing through, and she went, yes, oh yes. He went, okay, stamped, looked at me, and I was very polite to him, stamped, go through. When I got through customs in Las Vegas, I was like, breathe again, I can breathe again. We spent 4 days, another 4 days, was it 3 or 4 days in Vegas? And then we got the Greyhound coach back to Union Station, back to Los Angeles, and we got the subway Red B line back to Hollywood and Vine, and then stayed at North Sycamore in a via Booking.com. And that was stayed there for a few more days, and the highlights of this year, my partner got a certain amount of things done, and I intended to get bigger goals done, but got distracted by things that are happening in everyday life. I got distracted by that. A big, huge fucking distraction was time spent on fucking Facebook Marketplace, thinking that I could wrap everything up within 24 hours. Even said in the description, wanting to wrap this up in 24 hours. People are miserable on there. I think I mentioned to someone that I was doing something on there, and they went, oh, don't do anything on there. They're horrible on there. And I put something up for free at some point. I got really shitty with the situation. I put something for free. I got 10 messages at once. Boom, 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 I want it. And I actually had someone come and get something for free. And then they ran off with it. I'm like, had a situation with, put stuff out in the street. I put some things out in the street. Just some things out in the street, at the street library. Within 6 hours gone. I'm like, wow. People, actually I didn't, I put some things out at the street library thinking people are taking it. Next thing I know, there's a fucking note on the street library saying, don't dump I didn't dump them. Don't dump VHS. Anything that's not a book, go straight in the bin. I've written her a note back. Haven't given it to her yet. Just I hold off on these things. I'll just let certain things simmer. Let certain things simmer. I do that. I get reactive. Like I get reactive on pen and paper, but then I'll let it simmer. I just let certain things simmer. Oh, another highlight of this year, philosophical and psychological growth, my opinions and ideas on things. I'm glad I don't have the same philosophies I had when I was 30. Geez, God forbid. Geez, my goodness. Realising that I have no interest in Motley Crue anymore. I don't care about Motley Crue anymore. Regret the time that I did invest in them. Well, we do these things. At one point I thought this Nikki Sixx was the be-all end-all, and he is not the be-all end-all. He is very weird with the things that he says. Most of those things don't add up. Yes, someone is using a whippersnapper. Who the fuck is that? Sliding door closed. I keep it closed as a shield against our narcissistic neighbours, as a shield. When we move, I'm going to have light flooding the house. What was I talking about? Just shitty people on Facebook Marketplace. Yeah, it's there was, oh yeah, philosophical, Motley Crue, Nikki Sixx, right. Oh my gosh. There was a lot of Nikki Sixx worship going on in 2005 and 2006 and 2007. Can I have that time back, please? I look back on those albums now, no interest in, Shout at the Devil, I've got no interest in that album. I've spoken my mind about it on Night Voice. I've got no interest in Shout, it's not nostalgic to me. Too Fast for Love is not nostalgic to me. I have no interest in listening to any of the Motley Crue albums at all. I'd never go back to them. When Kickstart My Heart or Dr. Feelgood comes on the radio in the car, I turn the volume up. I do. It's so ironic. I press record and they start their fucking machines up. It's the Wicked Witch next door. Fucking she checks everything all the fucking time. Her name is, I call her Medusa. And she's non-stop. So I press record, 2 minutes later, they decide to do their whippersnapper. I had intended for this to be probably under 10 minutes, but and it's this time of year that I'm usually, I'll usually be like, oh, what have I achieved? What else did I do? What else happened? Did I get done this year? And I'm just, what am I? I'm in a limbo. Every day might as well be Sunday from the 25th of December onwards. I think what's really chewed into my time was the Facebook Marketplace, because I just thought I could move everything, get rid of everything within a space of like 2 days. I was excited about it. I was like, I put it up in August, I put things up in August, and I just thought, I'll just have moved all this stuff within a space of 48 hours, all done, fucking, or September, October, November, 4 months later, fucking hell, 4 months later, jeez. There's a lot of things. What the fuck is he doing? Wow. Boy, do I choose good times to make videos. I'll continue this later. So earlier, previously, I had the big commando guy outside doing his bullshit whippersnipping and blowing afterwards to a outside area that didn't need any maintenance, but Medusa likes to control things. She wasn't even there. She just makes it at a time, so she won't be there, so she doesn't have to hear it. And it's just her way of controlling things. Depressed. At this time of year, I should be reflecting on the things I did and being very satisfied by those. Instead, I'm in a complete limbo, miserable Facebook marketplace, absolutely miserable, and this is in the afternoon now, because I went out to see. I went to see Michelle for a few hours and related things to her. This year has gone incredibly fast. What did I take from it? What did I learn from it? A great deal, a lot. Being reactive to situations initially and then taking the time to simmer on that and work out what I will do. Yes, I should be in a mansion. Yes, every time I upload a video to Midnight Charlie, I should get paid instantly. Yes, I should have 10,000 views within 24 hours. Yes, there should be huge discussions started, productive, constructive, enlightening discussions started on all my videos. Yes, I should be being paid. Yes, I should be in a mansion. Yes, I deserve it. Yes, I've entertained. Yes, I've informed. Proud of my channel, love my channel, but it gets a bit depressing to be in there. And this year went incredibly fast. In my previous videos, I think sometimes I'm a bit rosy, like sort of putting on a happy sort of face, and I just decided today that I don't necessarily need to do that. I am yet to find a fellow YouTuber like myself who just will sit, talk, doesn't need to necessarily put up photos or anything, just is able to describe it themselves and things. And Howdy Makovsky often just puts up a picture saying, I'm only going to hear his voice. He makes a video every now and again. I find them to be very informative. There's far and few in between. I enjoy watching interviews with certain celebrities and A-listers. There's a lot on the plate for me, a great deal on the plate, so each day, once I get this Facebook Marketplace fiasco done, completely done, and then there's things will go to landfill or whatnot, whatever, get the garage completely taken care of, and then it actually will be okay after that. Minimum, just everything to a minimum. Everything to a minimum. Yes. $1 million YouTuber. Without that, there's my geez, I don't have the $1 million and don't have the mansion, which I've earned. I've earned that. I've actually earned it. I've earned it. I'd love to find a fellow YouTuber that presents how I do. Haven't found them. So I do it the best. I think I do it I'm going to convert this now and put it up. Exhausted and exhausted. So yeah. All right. All right. All right.